That's a clown question, bro.
Can you believe that happened 10 years ago yesterday? Bryce Harper with one of the memes of the century. And also, speaking of yesterday, I wasn't able to recap Jared Walsh and his cycle or Tommy Edmonds' walk-off home run. So apparently, if I take a day off, the most exciting plays in baseball are going to happen. Anyways, what's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to discuss today. Matt Carpenter has made history for the New York Yankees. The Atlanta Braves offense is no joke, and Justin Verlander right now is looking like the favorite to win the Cy Young in the American League. Now, a quick reminder, if you're going to any games or concerts, you know the drill. Use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire order. And also, make sure you guys hit subscribe and turn on those bells, because I'm coming out with the second video later today talking about my all-star ballot. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of difficult to decide who's gonna be the starters. You guys want to see one of the more embarrassing miscues of the year? Yeah, so Ranger Suarez gets it to JT, but Mr. Realmuto can't handle it, and 2 runs end up scoring. And my God, the Diamondbacks ended the Phillies' 9-game winning streak with a bang. Or maybe not so much with a bang, but more death by 1,000 paper cuts, because the Diamondbacks scored 1 single run the entire game on an extra base hit. So again, it was a lot of bad Phillies pitching and defense. Plus, again, there was a plethora of singles. They ended up with 13 runs on the day, and that's the one you just have to push to the back of your mind and pretend it never actually happened if you're a Phillies fan. But hey, this proves that the Arizona lineup can be a force if the rebuild is done correctly, especially when they add Jordan Lawler and Corbin Carroll. You guys know I've said that before. The Braves scored 5 yesterday, and every single one of them came on the long ball, so kind of the exact opposite of the Diamondbacks game. The first one came off the bat of William Contreras, who is honestly making a case right now to be an all-star. We'll talk about him later today. Maybe just behind his bro and also Tyler Stevenson, but again, I want to make his case. Duvall hits not 1, but 2 home runs. He has 17 extra base hits and 24 RBIs, which you would think is good, right? He has a horrific 68 OPS plus. The man has to find a way to get on base a whole lot more often. I do want to show this home run from Brian Reynolds. It was a 2-run missile because that's his 10th of the season. Matt Olson gets on the board as well as he belts his 8th of the year, and this Braves team is firing on all cylinders. They're about to match the Angels' losing streak, but like with wins, they now have 11 wins in a row. Also, I want to show this commercial from Ronald Acuna Jr. It's a Snickers commercial. I actually laughed out loud at this.
Who should I make it out to?
This is your package.
This is your package from Ronald Acuna Jr.
Just like we saw Adam Duvall on the Braves, Willy Adames kind of powered his own offense yesterday for the Brewers. This kid has been insane since being traded from Tampa Bay in 139 games for the Brewers. He has 33 doubles, 31 home runs, and a nearly 130 OPS plus. He has been a machine. The Nationals just didn't really feel like playing baseball yesterday or really scoring off of John Alexander and company. So we can see that the Nationals kind of got beat up yesterday. It was a 4-1 ball game, but it really felt like it was more than that. Andrew McCutchen ends it with a home run in the 9th inning. Now, this next one got out of hand quick. It was a walk to Carpenter with the bases loaded. Then IKF finds the gap for a 2-run, 2-bagger. And then my friend Joey Gallo rips a 2-run double. Over his last 9 games, he has 8 RBIs and a whopping 947 OPS. That is really good. Matt Carpenter is at it again. That's 5 home runs already. More on him in just a second. And good for Higgy. He's getting on the board as well. Yeah, honestly, if this was MLB The Show, the game would have ended early due to a mercy rule. Carpenter had 2 home runs and 7 RBIs, which gives him 6 home runs in his first 10 games. That is a New York Yankees record. Then you have Giancarlo Stanton and IKF along with Higgy. They all had multi-RBI days. This Yankees teams, guys, I mean, it's for real. They're 44-16. They're top 3, top 4, top 5 in nearly every stat that matters. I mean, how are you supposed to beat this team if Garrett Cole is your worst starting pitcher and this offense is scoring what seems like 10 runs every other day? Now, speaking of offense, holy offense, Baltimore erupted just like the Yankees. They scored 3 early on some prodigious taters. Santander went 455 feet, and then Mountcastle and Odor, they both went 420 plus feet. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Then you have 2 singles from Mullins and Hayes, extending their lead for Dean Kramer, who was solid. He had 1 earned run in 5 innings, but the stuff wasn't too crazy, so nothing to write home about. Richie Martin, I forgot that he was even playing baseball. He steps in and ropes a 2-run triple, gets to third base for Cedric Mullins, and the Baltimore Orioles have a double-digit scoring day, which is good because Bobby Witt Jr. and the Royals kind of stormed back. They were held to 7 runs, so Kansas City, with this loss, they're now one of 5 teams with a sub-400 win-loss record, which is terrible. Cal Quantrill was very sick pre-game. actually throwing up and stuff, but he was even more sick against the A's lineup. J-Ram had another huge day at the plate. He drives in 2 on his 17th double. Owen Miller continues his breakout season as Cal diced up Oakland through 6 innings. That makes 9 consecutive starts of 6+ innings pitched for Cal. Luckily, Cleveland ran it up to 6 runs because just like the Royals, Oakland stormed back a little bit, but ultimately they fall to 21-41, and honestly, they're flat out embarrassing of a baseball team and an organization. I feel terrible for that fan base. Cleveland, they're 3 games back of the Twins, and it's going to be very interesting, that AL Central race, because the Twins and the White Sox have been decimated by injuries, so hopefully they can get healthier because I want a tighter race. Jeremy Pena made JV breathe a little bit easier because Jorge Soler was back in Minute Maid, and we all know what he did in the 2021 World Series. Anyways, that 2-run nuke from Jeremy Pena started a little rally as Houston heads into the 5th up 5-0. And yeah, JV, he made it stay that way. He's fresh off Tommy John surgery. He's 39 years old. He's #1 in innings pitched and whip, while also maintaining a 1.94 ERA. He has a career 74 WAR, a Rookie of the Year, and MVP. He's a 2-time Cy Young winner. He is setting himself up, no joke, to be a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. Anyways, the Astros end up needing a few more runs because they just completely forgot how to play defense. Altuve saves them with a monster 3-run blast. And I just want to mention that second base all-star vote is going to get spicy between Santiago Espinal, Jose Altuve, and my guy right now, Andres Gimenez. Let's talk about the Giants game real quick because Austin Slater and Mike Yastrzemski, they both hammered some solo shots, and Carlos Rodon was on his game yesterday, his best start in weeks, and not a bad time to have it. He was tasked with facing the tough Dodgers lineup, and he picked them apart for 8 strikeouts over 7 shutout innings. But not gonna lie, Julio Urias was pretty lights out after those early runs. He struck out 10 on 3 hits, where Rodon struck out 8 on 2. Either way, the bullpen for San Francisco holds it, and they grab their 3rd win in a row, and at the same time, they send the Dodgers to a 3-game losing streak. Now, real quick, I want to mention that 10 years ago, not only did Bryce Harper have that meme, but 10 years ago today, Matt Cain threw a perfect game. I feel like that happened just yesterday.
And this is hit out into the alleyway. The long run for Blanco, and Blanco's gonna dive, and he makes the catch! On the ground, Arias from deep third, got him! And that's a perfect game.
I'm starting to feel really bad for Tarek Skubal. This kid is so nasty, but yesterday it really looked like he was pressing because he knows that the Jays lineup is beefy enough, and it becomes impossible when Ross Stripling is dicing up your lineup. Like, no shade at Ross Stripling, but the Tigers are the only team in Major League Baseball with a team OPS below, wait for it, 600. They have a 593 team OPS, so that Vladimir Guerrero 2-run shot was the ball game. And full credit to Toronto, they raked off a fantastic pitcher in Tarek Skubal. Ross was also fantastic. I have to tip my cap. 6 shutout innings on 1 base hit as Gurriel later grabbed his 2nd and 3rd RBIs of the day. Tigers fans are just about fed up after another shutout. That is 9 shutouts already on the season, and they haven't had a winning record since 2016. On the flip side, the Jays are absolutely locked in. Let's talk about a few guys who racked up double-digit strikeout performances and see if their team got them the dub. Taijuan Walker allowed a run early. Those Angel City Connect jerseys are so fire, by the way, but his offense said, "We got you." Starlin Marte plates Brandon Nimmo on a double, and JD Davis has been spraying baseballs and laser beams all year long. No, legit, he's the #1 guy in hard hit percentage right now. Taijuan Walker doesn't get phased by that early run. He dials it up for 10 strikeouts over 6 incredibly efficient innings. He only walked 1, and 70 of his 97 pitches were for strikes. Alonso grabs his 18th home run already, and the Mets make it 2 for 2 in regards to New York teams with 40 wins. The Mets and the Yankees, the only teams in MLB right now with 40 wins. The other pitcher who struck out 10 was Mr. John Gray of the Rangers. He got some huge help from Eli White. He drove in the first 3 runs of the game. Gray settled in. He had 10 strikeouts and 6 just like Taijuan. But also like Taijuan, he allowed a run. So this 2-run single off the bullpen by Andrew Vaughn kind of crushed Rangers fans and John Gray's spirits. But the Gallo trade is the gift that keeps on giving. Josh Smith has been pretty good. Glenn Otto has been better. And Ezekiel Duran rips his 2nd big league home run. This one is a 3-run shot. The Rangers bullpen imploded again. So Jonah Heim's 2-run single in the 12th proves to be the final blow. The Rangers are now a half game ahead of the Angels for 2nd place. Some other dudes that had fantastic starts from yesterday, German Marquez and Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray had to have felt hopeless yesterday because he was locking up the Red Sox lineup while simultaneously watching his own offense get locked up by a dude named Cutter? Yes, Cutter Crawford went 5 shutout with just 1 hit allowed, so he did his best Ross Stripling impression. I gotta tip my cap to you, good sir. While Robbie Ray threw 7 scoreless, but in steps Rafi, and that's the ball game. I really want to talk Devers for just a second because if J-Ram wasn't Jesus himself to begin 2022, Rafi would be the guy at third base. He's hitting .335 with 14 home runs and a 3.2 WAR. He would easily be starting again in a world where J-Ram did not exist. I also forgot to mention, because we were talking about the White Sox, they have officially released and DFA'd Yermin Mercedes. I believe he set the MLB record for most consecutive hits to begin a career. I think he started his career 8 for 8. He's no longer on the team. So Robbie Ray didn't get the W, so let's see if German Marquez did. Luckily, he got a few runs early because the Padres did get to him later in the 7th. You have Luke Voit hitting a home run, and Hosmer, his sac fly, ties it up. Now, as long as Colorado can score in the 8th, German will still be in position to get the W, and that's what happens. Ryan McMahon, he becomes the man. I gotta stop using that. He now has 32 RBIs and a respectable .332 on base percentage as Daniel Bard converts his 13th save as he strikes out the side. And last but not least, the Reds got helped out a ton by the Cardinals staff, scoring 2 runs on exactly 0 base hits. There was a bases loaded walk and then a double play until TJ Friel breaks that streak with an RBI single. There's TJ again. He triples home Matt Reynolds, and then he scores on a sac fly from Albert Amora Jr. Tommy Pham then belts a massive solo home run to put them up by 3, which is huge because Juan Yep is clutched up for a 2-run bomb in the 9th inning. So the Reds ultimately come away with the victory, but again, their bullpen almost imploded. I mean, I feel like every other game, the Reds bullpen is blowing W's. The Cardinals are just barely hanging on to a half-game lead over the Brewers, as the Brewers have been kind of stinking it up as of late. But we're going to go ahead and end today's video with a super thanks shout out right before the Web Gems. So shout out to King Slime, I think that's his name. He asked which NL East streak has been more impressive, and I gotta go with the Phillies because they did it against the Giants, the Angels, and the Brewers, all pretty good teams, and all while their manager got fired. Now, all respect to the Braves. I think the Braves are going to be a better team. They're currently on an 11-game winning streak, and overall, I think they do have the better roster, but it's been against kind of lesser teams. So the Phillies, they fire their manager, they rattle off 9 consecutive victories against pretty good teams. Tip my cap. All right, everyone, well, that does it for today's recap. Remember, a second video will be coming out later today. I can't wait to see all the comments, all the spiciness on that video. So make sure you guys have your bells on, subscribe, and enjoy the Web Gems.
This ball is lifted to deep left, and this one is caught.
No fan interference, but he stayed away from the wall. That allows him to get to the optimum height.
Shot toward the alley. Arroyo trying to get there. Makes a spectacular play!
Rob Refsnyder.
Wow.
He's pretty much flat out in the right center field.
And he pops it up. This is Flores, who's battling the wind, and he makes the catch.
Velasquez, who was a Yankee last year, is towards second. This ball driven deep to right, going back. Lagares looking up, and it's the center fielder, Wade.
Runner at first goes. Oh, tough play.
He'll get it. He'll get it.
Bare hand grab. Are you kidding me? Field as if that was simple child's play.
Hard ground ball. Great stop, McMahon. Now can he throw him out? Out at first base. What a play by McMahon.
Yeah, damn, we done came far. The blessings soon pay off. I don't get a day off. Feel like the playoffs, they like, when y'all gonna take off? Dale got laid off, now we focused on trademarks. We just making hits after hits.